Oh, amongst mathematicians, politicians, chemists, archetypes.
Hello, friends, and welcome to ARC 1010, a classical architecture workshop with Professor Paul Monson. This lecture is called Sacred Geometry, Exploring its Archetypal Language and Origins. What do we mean by sacred geometry? Have you ever...
Let me go ahead and stop. That when you're dealing with archetypes, you're gonna have to say the Sistine Chapel. They're gonna cut you out a picture of it. They're gonna take a picture of an angle towards your perspective, and they're gonna tell you to finish off the rest of the scene on the canvas. That might be a relative for Gustav math problem. Like, you'll need to do it in Unity, and then take a picture of it, but it's a real engine kind of a thing. You got to know anatomy, because musculatory structures in the math and failure proofing you is a sacred geometry. It is the ball, it is the skull, it is your map. It is just, I don't know which mathematician you had lately, but amongst mathematicians there's a very simple, or well, whatever we're doing here in the field relative, there's a very simple little hack in a field charge where somebody's going to pick up on that and somebody's not going to pick up on it. That's not that it's right or wrong. It is a sacred geometry. It happens. When it happens amongst nitty-gritty mathematicians and archetypes here, he's going to be very good and going to be talking about some classical art history and who was doing what with what. The computer engineering team's definitely in here, clearly. And he's gonna, the whole armory, Neo, he's about to, from some level of eschatology before Big Bang and inflation, right? We kind of know that's the general start. Sacred geometry started in a HTLM, get it going. And then here we got some Mandel or Fibonacci sequences, that these patterns are consistent. It's not necessarily the last one you saw was some, yeah, there you go, Gaussian, or Maxwell, Ray-Leiter genes, tear up. I don't know why you need this section much more than this section. This is a pretty important part. You can't do this part. And that's a fair line to be anywheres in there. And yet you can see it, right? There's a sacred geometry. You've done it a million times while trying to describe something. You might not take an hour and a half at it. But the classical right now is a 45-minute Penrose twister theory and a 45-minute NP complete lecture, a 45-minute or 15-minute brief, or a multi-domain demonstration for a leadership formation. There's a sacred geometry to it. It doesn't necessarily matter what field you're in. If that being the pond we have to clear for the helicopter pad, well, what would be our sacred geometry? What would be... Okay, so that was my note. Catch you on the next one.